How's it going, guys? Nappa here, and I want to use the beginning of this video to kind of announce a return to YouTube for me. I'm graduated from high school, and I've been graduated for a while now. And being handicapped, I got a lot of free time, and I don't really do much during the day, so I want to put some of my free time to something somewhat productive. Um, and I figure now is as good a time as any to get back into YouTube. And I know many times in the past I've just kind of went on hiatus without really saying anything. But I just want to say that in the event that I ever decide to go on a hiatus in the future, I will definitely make a video explaining why, explaining how long the hiatus is going to be, and just letting you guys know what's going on and keeping you informed. But in this video today, I want to talk a little bit about the Duke of Death and whether or not it's worth it if you are a returning player, and if you're not a returning player as well. So right off the bat, I will say if you're a returning player, there's really no reason not to get this thing unless you're short on garage space. In terms of muscle cars, it looks cool. It handles pretty decently. It's got a decent top speed, and it is somewhat armored, and it does have some advantages. And for free, you really can't ask for a whole lot more. But if you're not a returning player, I can't really be as optimistic. Being a returning player means that the car is free to you, as I already mentioned. If you are not a returning player, if you're somebody who has bought the game on the system that you're currently playing on, this car is going to cost you $665,000. Is it worth the price? Well, let's just go ahead and examine this car, and I'm going to basically be going over, not really its handling or anything like that, but I just want to be covering how much protection it has and how it stacks up against other armored vehicles. In terms of being bulletproof, it's not all that bulletproof. The side windows, even though they look like they should be bulletproof, and you do have like the window slits there, they are not bulletproof in the slightest. You can get shot through them very quickly. They don't stop bullets whatsoever. The main driver's side windshield is not bulletproof at all. It is very easy to kill somebody who's coming at you, or even from, slight angles. It's very easy to take them out. The passenger windshield is slightly more bulletproof because of this window slit. You can shoot through the slit. As you can see, it's not hitting anything. But even in an assisted aim lobby, if you're trying to shoot the driver out, you're going to have to really guide your reticle towards their head if you want to kill them. Because otherwise you're pretty much going to be landing body shots and it's not going to be doing much damage. So that's somewhat protective. And the rear windshield is 100% bulletproof, nothing getting through that whatsoever. So, just like most of the supercars that don't have a rear windshield or any of the other armored cars, you are protected from the back. Unfortunately, this car has many, many disadvantages on top of only being partially bulletproof. First of all, you can only fire your weapons in a forward direction. If you move too far to the side with your reticle, it is going to become gray and you can no longer fire. This is similar to what would happen in the Kuruma. However, I feel like, the Kuruma being substantially more bulletproof, it makes more sense in terms of balance. But because you can actually get shot through the side windows, I feel like you should be able to shoot through the side windows in order to be able to defend yourself. It would only be fair that way, but unfortunately that's not how it works. You cannot fire out of the side windows. That is unfortunate. Another thing is, I don't know why I got out of the car, another thing is you cannot use explosives. As I scroll through my weapons here, you're going to see no explosives. You cannot throw stickies or anything like that. And as another downside, it is not explosion proof from sticky bombs, grenades, pipe bombs, anything like that. One handheld explosive, and it's done. Not really armored in that sense. It does have one decent use and one decent function that I'm going to show you here in a minute. We're going to do a bit of a jump cut. And, yeah. Okay, so it's not very bulletproof. Your weapon usage is extremely limited. And one sticky bomb or any other handheld explosive will detonate it. But what can this armored car protect you from? Well, it is somewhat resistant to rockets fired from buzzards, hydras, anything like that. as you'll see, 1 rocket, 2 rockets, and after it reloads, the 3rd rocket is going to be the one that destroys it. So, really, the only use for this armored car that I can really think of would be running crates or doing any other objective where you're going to have other players chasing you. Because if you're running a crate and you happen to have a buzzard catch with you, and then they start firing rockets down on you, you get a little bit of warning, and you can take a hit or two before you pull into an alleyway and start defending yourself. Unfortunately, there are other cars that will help you with those situations much better than the Duke of Death. The Insurgent, which is only about $100,000 more, will take 7 rockets instead of 3. It is much more resistant to sticky bombs and other handheld explosives. I believe taking 8 sticky bombs right around there before it blows up. And you can fire from any direction, front, side, and back, and you can use explosives. So if you're a returning player, there's really no reason not to save up the 100,000 extra and just go for the Insurgent instead. Because anything the Insurgent, or anything this Duke of Death does, the Insurgent is going to do better. This car has a slightly better top speed than the Insurgent, I will give it that. But in terms of overall usability and usefulness, I would have to give it to the Insurgent hands down. And if you're looking for something that's bulletproof, this is definitely not your car. Go for the Kuruma, go for the Schafter V12 Armored. Even the Insurgent is a little bit more protective against bullets. The windows aren't bulletproof, but the windows are very tiny, so it is difficult for NPCs to shoot you out. Players won't have a hard time, but NPCs will have a hard time shooting you out. So, final verdict, is the Duke of Death worth it? Is it good if you're not a returning player? I would have to say no. Because of all the reasons I listed, it's just not worth that hefty chunk of change. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.